Hello, my lovelies, and in today's episode of Bella's Hat, we are going to be talking about my transition. I started my transition as early as, well, I would say since I was a little me, and that's how I started, mainly with my mom's shoes, okay? But I do have a very good collection of shoes. It's like I'm a bit of a shoe slut. Don't tell my mom. But women's fashion, I think it's more expressive than men's fashion. And I felt this is something that I've always found. Gender expression, it's not a fetish. You just feel that it's right. It's you. So, like I said, I started exploring with footwear, and obviously I couldn't explore, enough living in the same house as my parents. It was only until I started my doctorate that I was living on my own that I was able to, explore my femininity. Yeah, I started to do that. And what I found was that, I liked them, makeup. I liked, dressing up, costumes, high heels. It was until that I came out in 2018, 2019. That was my first night out, really, as myself. 2018, what happened was that I was outed by my best friend. He told my mum that I was, is me, that I was trans. So my mum wrote to me a letter via post, and she sent me a hair clip and a diadem, and she said in the note, "What should I call you?" And I said, "Well, you can call me this name." So, but anyways, what the relation wasn't really, I think she was more grieving more than anything else. That it was kind of like, yeah, I accept that your gender expression, but you're still a faggot. But anyways, yeah, that was the sort of treatment that I got from her, which wasn't really nice, and it was one of the reasons why I decided to go. But anyways, that's aside. I started to explore myself more deeply in as from 2018, 2019. There was a night out called Leeds First Friday, which is first Friday of every month. I do the first Saturday of every month, and which is called Saturday Night Leeds. By the way, I'm going to plug the event here. And basically, what we do is that the first night out, that was the first time that I met this lovely person. Her name was Janie Marie Swan. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2022 from cancer, and there is a bench commemorating her service to the community. So when I met her, I said, "Look, could you actually come to my room and help me out? Because I have a choker that I need a clipping. Could you please come into my room?" So she came into my room and she helped me out, and let's go down. And she was the one actually who helped me break the ice with everybody. Who it was like there are lovely people that in that event. So I was pretty good. So with regards to medication and surgeries, I will go one by one. I started with hair removal, so that's the easiest that you can actually start. So I got myself a Philips Lumia, and that was in my 30s. So this was more than 10 years ago. And I remember I started zapping my legs, and I used the excuse, because I was a cyclist, I used the excuse, "Hey, I'm a cyclist, I need more aerodynamics." It's like, bullshit! Anyways, but I got the results that I wanted, and I saved so much money. And then I did see a lot of hair loss. But obviously, you do need the face, which is the biggest thing. Because if you do have really dark hair, you're going to get what's called the Cinderella look, which is you do your makeup, you cover it up with, it could be red makeup, and then followed with the foundation to cover up the beard. And that is going to reveal itself after a few hours. I used to call it the Cinderella effect, because after midnight you will get the dark shadow popping up, and I just fucking hated it. So, how did I get rid of my facial hair? With not cheap electrolysis and laser. First it was electrolysis. So I said to the lady, could you just zap every single follicle of my face? And I used to have 3 or 4 hairs in every single follicle. It was painful, especially around here and around the jawline. That was really painful. But anyways, no pain, no gain, right? I know. But the more effective, I think it's laser. The laser is the most effective because at the end of the day, you're going to have a very good result. It's cheaper. Yes, I spend thousands on laser. This thing about that it's going to be just one session, bollocks. You're going to be there for a long time because even as time progresses, your body does make new hair follicles and you need to be keeping up with your top-ups. So this is something for you to bear in mind. It's a long process. So laser, electrolysis, mainly for white hairs, gray hairs, because the way that laser works is by conducting heat through the color of the follicle. If you have white, it will not conduct. If it's dark, it will conduct. So each technology, it's for a particular hair type. So that's that, hairs. Let's talk about hormone replacement therapy. I was with a company called Gender Care, which is based in Singapore. I used to pay a subscription of about 27 or 28 pounds a month. 28, I think it was about 28 days or something like that. But I think they've increased it quite a lot these days. But I changed to Gender Care London because I was having a lot of difficulties with getting the prescriptions that I needed because it was Singapore based, and if I get the electronic version, we can't dispense this because it's not within the European Union. That's the reason that prescribers, the chemists told me. So I was, even though I was paying, I still had difficulties. So no, not fun. So I moved with Gender Care. Gender Care gave me the official diagnosis of gender incongruence, and that was paying private. Unfortunately, with the NHS, yes, you can go through the NHS, but there is a very long waiting list. And I think that's so wrong in so many levels that they have to force people to wait for so long. This is life or death. Like I said in a few videos, I did try the S word because I was so fed up of my life. I was fed up of looking at myself. I wasn't happy, and being gender congruent was partly of that reason, and being myself relieved those symptoms. It's very important care, and the NHS is just brushing it under the carpet. I think it should merit a lot more attention. But I had to do things to get the ball rolling. And like I said, I was with Gender Care in London, and that's how I got diagnosed. It was by a psychologist named Dr. Robin Dundas. He gave me the diagnosis that I needed, and then you would actually get prescribed hormones, estrogen. If you're a male to female, it would be estrogen and finasteride. And then a couple of years down the line, they will give you actually progesterone to increase your breast size. And also to, your libido is actually gonna kill, it's gonna be killed off if you are on estrogen. So that's something to bear in mind. Anyways, and then I went for surgery. Surgery for my top surgery, I went private. This one was in Manchester. And again, it was because my shape, I preferred a more feminine body shape. Yeah. So if I actually go a little bit up, so that's my breast size. This is an E cup on a 40 breast, 40 band, and it's an E cup. So, handsome as I'm a 36E, so yeah. So yes, it has, having surgery, I think it was the most scariest thing that I've ever had, because I never had any surgeries in my life. And yeah, but having the breast surgery, the top surgery, was so good. I didn't feel a thing. And I didn't feel anything, not even dreamt anything. I just woke up and it's like, ooh, hello, boobies. So yeah. Challenges, yes, with work, family, you're going to have those. Being misgendered throughout your transition, that's going to be a challenge. You're just going to have to put up with it. That's how it is until there's more education. It's like, yeah, that's unfortunately how it is. Hatred, yes, there's a lot of haters out there, but it's like, for me, it's like, yeah, they're jealous. And apart from that, yeah, I mean, it's a journey. So everybody is on a different journey. You're on your different journey. I'm on a different journey. And we'll all get there at, on a different time, but eventually we'll all get there eventually. It all depends how fast or how slow you want to go and move things forward. So yes, thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions or any comments that you want to drop down below, feel free to do that. Like and subscribe to my channel. It will help me immensely to, gain notoriety. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.